Toxic people can take you back to the old self, to the old self that you used to be when you're surrounded by toxic people. And I'm guilty as myself. I have been in my life in the past toxic, and I also can be toxic now in this present moment. And there's a lot of times I feel like I have found myself in regret with something I say. I might say a joke and I can offend somebody, I can hurt somebody with that joke. And it's happened recently. Did a joke and I kind of hurt somebody, and I could see in their faces that they look hurt and they look kind of like, oh shit, and I feel bad and I feel guilty because I do feel for people. But sometimes when I come across and I might say, kind of, I might be joking around, I say to myself, I feel that, it was all good, but some people can take it wrong and bad with something I say, or I could, you know, people might not like what I say because it might sound toxic to them. And I know there's a lot of sensitivity out there, and sometimes you could actually hurt people with what you say and you speak. But that's what has happened, recently. But I try my best to elevate my mind to to change a lot of stuff that's within me that I do not want anymore. But when you're surrounded by toxic people, and a lot of toxic people can bring you back to that old self. So when you're surrounded by toxic people, a lot of people who have that type of mentality with programs that they still have not changed, and people who are still walking around with those old school programs that they still haven't really developed a new kind of program within their minds to change something in their life that they want to change, because they're still running on this autopilot program that causes a lot of destruction in their life. So when you're surrounded by these people, it's very clear that you must find a place in yourself, or in somewhere in your house or anywhere where you can find that kind of sacred power within yourself. And you could do your meditations, your affirmations. You could do it for like 5 minutes, or your personal creations, what you can do to go out there and face reality, to go out there and face the world, and find your own little sacred place where you can actually work within yourself, because a lot of people do not give themselves that time alone. We all need that time alone so we can go out there and bring the better self of ourselves. And I still deal with a lot of issues in my life because a lot of stuff that's happened to me in the past. And I'm still working within myself. And I will say that NDIS has helped me a lot, because I've been going through a lot of still I get a lot of trauma from the past, because I had a spiritual awakening when I was 23, and I still want to talk about that. That there also is a lot of kind of, you can say, a lot of dark side of the spiritual awakening that you go through, and sometimes there's a lot of spiritual kind of awakenings that can ruin your life, but also those when it feels like that this spiritual awakening is it can bring a lot of chaos in life. It also can also bring a lot of order in your life. And I know that I say that life is really, really awesome if you really can see it. And most people might think that's far-fetched, but when you work within yourself, you can actually find that life actually starts to work. But when you're surrounded with a lot of toxic people who bring you back to the old self, can also bring you back into the old habits that you used to have. And that's why it's very important to have your own alone time to go within yourself and find your own personal creation to create your life, whatever it is. You might do it with sports, you might do it with music, um, you might do it with cooking, you might like your job, you like whatever, or you might, do whatever that kind of brings you into alignment. And that's the most special thing, is getting into alignment and getting into that place that connects you with who you are. Peace.